Hi there and welcome back. This is a very quick review of a very strange subject, my life and my wife is based in Sweden, so of course everything that is related to the country, it's in my interest, So I decided to buy this model from Pilot Replicas. It's the second one that I took from this company. This is a Swedish company, Pilot Replicas, that produces extremely nice and interesting stuff, just of course related to the Swedish Air Force or the Swedish subjects, So this is a SAAB J21, Shugo N, they would say in Swedish, and made in 1/48 scale. It was a particular kind of plane developed in the 40s for the Swedish Air Force. Sweden was a neutral country during the Second World War, but they anyway provided some vehicles and some stuff, mostly to try to protect the country, And it was interesting because it was featuring a DB601, the motor coming from the Messerschmitt BF109, so a Daimler-Benz placed in the reversed position. So it was a pushing engine, not a track. I don't know how to explain in English, but you understand, was not in the front part where it pull the plane, This kind of solution was also used in the Italian CI Ambrosini S4. It was a similar plane, of course, a little more modern, little more nicer in the look, but this was extremely interesting because it was so related and just related to the Swedish Air Force, what they call it, the Flickvapnet. So what's inside the box? The models are constantly well made. They made quite few subjects. Like today I'm making the video right now in 2024, and this was a model that they made, I think, a couple of years ago, and you have to be deeply inside this type of models to understand what they do. The quality is absolutely perfect. It's surely something that have been paid in Sweden like an investment and produce it in Asia, because the quality is the top-notch level of what you can have today about the plastic molds. It is not something made in short-run production. This is a real model made in real plastic, and my model came without this external plastic that I placed to try not to lose any minor part. There is some small details already floating around, like the bulb of the real propeller, and it was just sealed from the factory for the canopy transfers, that they are really well done in very good quality. The overall detail is excellent. It features a kind of rivets and panel lines. I think in my channel you will find already the kit review of the Tunnan. That was another plane similar to the F-86 Sabre that I made, I think, the last year, because I tried to collect all of the model that they did. The next one that I will try to find is the SK60, the little trainer that was also featured in part from the Italian Alfa Romeo in the engine that I didn't know. I remember that I made for a museum collector of Alfa Romeo planes, and I made the SK is in Swedish, SK60 plane, The decals model is very easy, it's a very simple model. So basically you have just 4 sprue, and the overall detail is excellent. Consider that if you go in the website of the Pilot Replicas, they also provide correctly, because this is stuff made from modelers to modelers, and in Sweden they have exceptional, great and skilled modelers. I've been a little around in their competition, and it's extremely hard to take prizes. I usually do, thanks God. I also took a best on the show in a competition, a masterclass category for a scratch build. So it's really the extreme category to prove myself that I can do something also there. Between them, it's not so easy when you go around for contests and try to achieve prizes also in foreigner countries when nobody knows who you are and where you come from. So they just give the prize to what they see, not to the name of the modeler. And as I say, consider that in the website of Pilot Replicas, they also provide an excellent line of racing details. So if you want to go for a full open engine with the mountings and so on, or full open cockpit, they also give another extra detail. Already this one is quite decent and good, this is the side of the cockpit, but anyway the limit that it is molded in plastic, so the plastic have a technical limit. Overall, you cannot do much more than use what the molds allow you to do, so to go for the real heavy detail, you have to go absolutely in photo etched and racing and the racing part. They do specific racing kits for their own model. I think in that case made probably from CMK or Edward for them, because it's really too similar to the stuff that IRES do for themselves. So probably something specifically made just for this type of subjects that they just did in this scale, you know. Being in 148 also, the scale is super, because, you know, if you see the overall dimension of the model is not too big and not too small, you know. This is the typical subject that if made in 172 scale became like a clock mechanism, you know. So you have to add so many details. Very, very cute, but extremely hard, you know. I don't know if anybody did it, this J21 in 172 scale. I never seen it in my shop, but probably exists, because already in the smaller scale they nearly made everything you can think about. Last but not least, the decal sheet. Also, this was floating around. I don't know if it is a lack of the company. I think it's the lack from the guy that I took it from, because usually they seal everything to avoid parts to float around, and mine was not, and so I placed also the plastic to protect this decal sheet. I don't know if they made it. There is also the photo etched set. You see, quite basically, you know, there is minor detail for the landing gears and the seat belts, and something probably for the cockpit part, you know. And you see, this is typically Swedish, you know, designed by Moose Republic, you know, the ENG with the symbol of the Swedish moose, you know. Swedish are mad people, you know. I love them, really love them. The quality is absolutely stunning, because this is surely that they made by their own. It can be absolutely designed by Moose Republic and probably printed by Cartograph, because they never go low in quality with this stuff. So the quality is absolutely exceptional, and also provided by a protection paper, as a typical from this type of stuff. The instruction sheet is also very simple, being the assembly so simple and so few pieces, you know, but so technically, so really well done. And first of all, is a colored instruction sheet, so you will have also the paint scheme of the plane, quite simple, you know, the classical light gray, light blue for the under surface, and the value of the numbers, you know. Quite easy. You cannot go wrong with this stuff. And if they study something like that, you see, this is also the model. This is the typical modeling tip, you know, that they say this is the basic color, then you have to water it and making you know, in the extreme condition where they are, you know, that in Sweden probably have, as you have seen on my picture in the social media, I have a Volvo, and my Volvo is changing color in 3 parts of the body and becoming rusty. And the Volvo is a car of 10 years ago. It's not a car of 50 or 100 years ago right now soon. So so you have always to consider this stuff when you make this type of model. There is a brief history of the model. It is quite interesting, because there is not so much documentation outside Sweden, you know. This is stuff that probably you will find in museums, so I'm curious if I will be back in SAAB Museum for the national competition in the Gothenburg area to check if they have this plane. I didn't see the last time. It can be that they have somewhere else in Sweden, you know. There is 2 or 3 very important and very nice museum in the country that I deeply suggest you to go up there for a visit, to go and visit them. They are pricey to visit, but it's absolutely worth it. It's another level. It is not the ordinary shitty museum with 4 little crap stuff in the garden and so on. It's really well taken, and really they care about it, so it's extremely nice to see it. There is you see the copyright, so it's already model from 2015. I was thinking it was much more recent model, you know, but as I say, the quality is, in my opinion, absolutely breathtaking. This is really printed in the Swedish way, so extremely precise and coming from the computer images, you know, with all the reference. So it's dumb proof. You cannot go wrong with this stuff. You have just to love Sweden and love this type of planes, you know, and love this type of extremely strange plane made by some company that was, my opinion, that was a mistake, that my Swedish people made it up there to make the SAAB company go bankrupt some years ago, because they made excellent stuff, and we will absolutely miss the quality of this Swedish historical company making fantastic stuff coming from the cold lands of the north. That's it, guy. Go for it. When you see pilot replica, is constantly a warranty of extremely high quality and particular subject coming from Scandinavia. That's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next.